Hi, welcome. This is lesson number 2, data handling, 5 number summary, also measures of spread. Now, what are we talking about when we are talking about 5 number summary? Well, essentially what we are talking about is here. So we are talking about the minimum value, the quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and also the maximum value. When we are talking about measures of spread, we are talking about your range, and we are also talking about your interquartile range, of which they both have formulas, which we'll be dealing with before the end of this video. Now let's focus on this 5 number summary. Now, the minimum value, the quartile 1, the quartile 2, quartile 3, and also the maximum value. Now, I want to make this clear. Quartile 1 can also be known, because this is important, quartile 1 can also be known as the lower quartile. The lower quartile. So instead of saying calculate quartile 1, they could essentially say that calculate the lower quartile. And also quartile 2 can be known as the middle quartile. The middle quartile. And quartile 3 can be known as the upper quartile. The upper quartile. Now, this is not the only ways in which they can be known. Let me put a pink. Quartile 1, lower quartile, can also be known as the first quartile. The first quartile. This can be the second quartile, and this one can be the third quartile. Like I said from the first video, I want you to gain as much confidence as you can with regards to data handling. Don't get to the exam and they say first quartile and you're like, what's that? Or they say second quartile. No. Quartile 1, lower quartile, first quartile. Same thing. Quartile 2, middle quartile, second quartile. Quartile 3, upper quartile, third quartile. It's the same thing. Now, we have this data set here. Before we deal with this data set, as you can see, my calculator apparently was in a bag. Yes, in a bag. And it was pressing itself numbers that I do not understand. What's this? What's happening here? Let's solve this. First, let's make sure that it also didn't press other things that we do not understand. Now I know for sure it is in the right mode. It should be ready to do what I will be asking it to do. Let's continue. So we have been given a data set. I know you understand what is a data set from our first lesson. This is a set of data. These values or these numbers that have been put in this form, it's a set of data. We have been given a 10, 8, 11, 14, 3, 7, 4, 5, and 4. Before we can do anything in a 5-number summary, this is important. Before we can do anything in a 5-number summary, we have to arrange the data. We have to arrange the data. Now, for the purposes of this video, we are going to arrange the data in ascending order. So let's arrange this data in ascending order. So let me put it here. Ascending order. So in an ascending order, what do we have at first? Well, we have number 3. By now you know. I feel like by now you know. What do we have? We have a 4. We also have a 4. You know why I'm writing these numbers at the top. We also have a number 5. And then we also have a number 7. We also have a number 8. We also have a number 10. Number 10, we also have a number 11. Lastly, we have a number 14. Now, I know that I'm correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's my data set? Or my arranged data? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The last number is a 9 and it's a 14 Also, there are 9, and the last number is 14. Remember, ascending order from the smallest value to the biggest value. If it was descending order, it was going to be from the biggest value to the smallest value. Now, the minimum is the first or the smallest value. So the minimum here is going to be a 3. This 3 is the minimum. So here a minimum is going to be a 3. So a 3 is going to be a minimum. A maximum, it's the biggest value or the highest value. In this regard here, a maximum is going to be a 14. Now, let's deal with quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3. Listen and listen to me attentively. It's impossible for you to calculate any quartile before you have calculated quartile 2. Let me put this here so that you will understand it. You cannot calculate quartile 1 or quartile 3 before quartile 2. Quartile 2 is the king of quartile 1 and quartile 3. It's impossible for you to arrive quartile 1 and quartile 3 before quartile 2. Quartile 2 must be there first because it is the middle number, it is the median, it is the king of the quartiles, if I were to put it like that. Now, quartile 2 is the middle quartile, is the second quartile, number 4. Guess what? It is also something that we have come to know as the median. Oh, now you are happy. I can see that you are smiling. You're all over the place. You're like, so why do you have to tell me that first? Now I know how to calculate. Yes, I know you know. Let's calculate the median, which is quartile 2. So, by now we have arranged the data. Like I told you, you cannot calculate the median without first arranging the data. The data is arranged, so the only thing that we are supposed to do is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. This is the middle value. So our middle value here, it is going to be 7. Now, focus. We have our quartile 2 as 7. 7 is the middle value. 7 stays in the middle. I want you to visualize or to imagine the number 7 or the middle value as a fence. The middle value as a fence. What does a fence do? It sets a boundary between two places. When there is a fence, you can tell that, oh, that is a park. Oh, this is someone's place. This is not a park. How do you tell whether this is a park and this is someone's place? Because there is a boundary in between, which we can say it's a fence, or it's a boundary. There is a boundary in between. This boundary becomes the median. Median acts as a boundary. That's why I was saying you cannot calculate Q1 and Q3 before Q2, because in order for you to differentiate between a park and someone's place, you need a boundary or you need a fence. So this is a fence. See, I'm making it look like a boundary fence. Indeed, it has worked. We are no longer going to use it because it's a boundary. It separates two sides. With this regards, our median value separates between two places. It is going to separate between the left and the right. Because we have the middle value, which is a boundary, it has given us two data sets. There is one on the left and there is another on the right. On the left, we are going to come with quartile 1. On the right, we are going to come up with quartile 3. If I can continue, like I've been writing here a lot of things, I can say that quartile 1 is what you are going to get on your left. Quartile 3 is what you are going to get on your left. In simple terms, Quartile 1 is the median on your left. Left median. Quartile 3 is your right median. All the quartiles, they are all middle numbers, but you need the first middle number, which is quartile 2. After getting the first middle number, which is quartile 2, it is going to separate the data into two. You are going to have the left-hand side. You're also going to have the right-hand side. On your left-hand side, you are going to get a median, which we call it quartile 1. On your right-hand side, you're going to get a median, which we call it quartile 3. You must look very happy. I know. Let's continue. You know already how to calculate median. So let me use a different one. Let me use a white. Again, remember, it's like the data set now on your left, it's this 3, 4, 4, 5. The data set on your right, it's this 8, 10, 11, and 14. So we cancel, we are left with 2. We spoke about this. When we are left with 2, what do we do to them? We add them and then we divide them by 2. So our Q1 here was going to be 4 plus 4 divided by 2, which, okay, I know what the answer I don't know what the answer is. I think the calculator knows better what the answer should be. Okay, the answer is a 4, meaning our Q1 is a 4. Let's go to the right. So we have cancel 8, cancel 14. We are left with 2 again. That means we are supposed to say 10 plus 11 divided by 2. What are we getting? Me cancel, me say that it's a 10 plus 11. When you divide it by a 2, you get 10.5. 10.5. So 10.5 is our Q3. So now we have our minimum value, which is 3. We have our Q1, which is 4. We have our Q2, which is 7. We have our Q3, which is 10.5. We have our maximum, which is 14. We have done the 5-number summary. Now, let's use the data set that is beneath or that is below, which is this one. Let's say this is data set number 2. As you can see, it's in pink. Let's apply the steps again so that we can master it and get even more confident. Let me get some real estate, some property. Now, what's the first step? Arrange. There's no way you can do anything with regards to the 5-number summary before arranging. So let's arrange. Let me put it here in ascending order. Now, what's the first value? It's 3. I can see we have a 3 here. I'm going to come here and I'm going to write a 3. What else? I have a 4. I have another 4. It will be number 3. I have a 5. I also have a 7. What do I have also? I have an 8. Let's start with this one. I have another 8. Let's start with that one again. Let's end with that one. And then what else do I have? I have a 10. And then I have an 11. What else? I have a 14, which will be my number 10. 14. Am I correct? Have I arranged accurately and correctly? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My arranged data also has to be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that is that. It says that my smallest or my first was this 3. I wrote 1. Is it? Yes, it is. It says that my last is this 10 and I wrote a 14. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's a 14. I can be sure that I have arranged accurately. Each and every value in the data set has a corresponding number on the top, which tells me that, look at this. If I were to choose at any, my 5 should be number 4. 1, 2, 3, number 4 is a 5. Can you see that by using these fundamentals, there is no way you are going to go wrong with regards to arranging or with regards to dealing with your data set. You will, of course, know that I have done it accurately. Because why is this important? This is so important because you get it wrong here, 5-number summary gone. You get it wrong here, median is gone. You get it wrong here, there's nothing that you'll be able to calculate. So that's why this is so important. Now let's work. Let me get a gold. So now I've told you that this is the minimum value. It's number 3. The maximum value, it's the last one, or it's the highest one. So it's going to be a number 14. Now, I told you, you can't get to Q1 or Q3 before you calculate what? A Q2. By calculating a Q2, this is what we're going to say. 1, 1, because Q2 is a median. Don't forget that. Q2 is a median. All the quartiles are medians. Q2 is a median. Q1 is a median on your left. Q3 is a median on your right. But before you can have a right and a left, you must first have the boundary, which is the fence, which is Q2. This guy here. Fence first. Let's deal with the fence. We have cancelled 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. See, there are 2. By now you know. When you know, you know. If there are 2, you add them, you divide by a 2. So we have added a 7 plus 8. We have divided the answer by 2, which gives us a 7.5. Now, pay attention again. Can you see that in our data we don't have 7.5? 7 and 8, we can't say they are a fence. They are not a fence because they are not the middle value. The middle value is the one that is supposed to be a fence. Therefore, what do? We put it here. 7.5. This is our middle value. So it has to go in between the 2. It has to go between the 7 and 8 because we use the 7 and 8 to get the 7.5. It goes in between the same 2 numbers that you use to get your middle value. You put it in between. Then it becomes, let me use a green. It becomes your what? Your fence. 7.5 is our fence. We have used 7.5 as a fence. Now we have, as I said, left side and the right side. What do we get from our left side? We get quartile 1 from our left. What do we get from our right side? We get quartile 3 from our right. So let's get that. I said that quartile 1 is a median on your left. 7 is working because 7 is not the middle value. What does not work when you are calculating Q1 and Q3? It's only your middle value, which is in this case 7.5. We are not going to use this. The reason why we put it back there is so that it can separate the data into left and right. 1, 1, 2, 2. Look, we just have a 4 as Q1. Again, 1, 1, 2, 2. Look, we just have a 10 as Q3. That's how you do your 5-number summary. That's how you do your quartiles. Do them like you're supposed to do them. Anyway, let's continue. Now we also have the measures of spread. Let me use a gold. The measures of spread, I told you, we have a range and we also have interquartile range, as you can see. So now we have a range. A range has a formula. A range is equals to, I will use 3 of them so that you can understand they are all synonyms. They all mean the same thing. Range is equals to the biggest value minus the smallest value, or range. Let's use a different one. We can say that range is equals to the highest value minus the lowest value. Again, let's use a different one. We can say that range is the maximum value minus the minimum value. This should give you even more confidence than you bargained for. Biggest minus smallest, highest minus lowest. Maximum minus minimum, they all mean the same thing. They are all the formula for range. Now, for the purposes of this, we are going to use maximum minus minimum, which is still the same thing as highest minus lowest, which is still the same thing as biggest minus smallest. Okay, I want you to see something. There's a reason why I brought the measures of spread, I combined them with the 5-number summary, and this is why. Between the difference between your minimum and your maximum is going to earn you a range. The difference, let me use a different one, between your Q3 and your Q1 is going to earn you interquartile range. Let's do this so you can see what I'm talking about. Range is maximum or biggest or highest. Which one is our biggest? It's 14. Subtracting with what? 3. What's the answer? And by the way, they want you to always arrange an interquartile range. They come out sometimes range comes out as a 3-mark question. You must write the formula first. You get a mark for writing the formula. So we are going to say 14, subtracting a 3, we are going to get 11. 11 is our. Let's get a bit of real estate. A bit, just a bit, just a bit. Yes, this should be enough. Interquartile range. This is the formula for interquartile range. Interquartile range is quartile 3 subtracting quartile 1. Like I told you, when you take the difference between the maximum value and the minimum value in your 5-number summary, you get a range. When you take the difference between a quartile 3 and a quartile 1 in your 5-number summary, you get an interquartile range. Now, what is our Q3? Our Q3 was 10. Subtracting with our Q1, which was a 4. What do we get? So we have a 10 subtracting a 4. We get a 6. Let me also clarify something that you might come across. If they just give you a data and the question says calculate interquartile range, this usually would be a 6-mark question. Sometimes it can be a 7-mark question. They just gave you a data and said calculate interquartile range. You cannot calculate interquartile range before you have calculated all the quartiles. Why am I saying all the quartiles but the formula says Q3 minus Q1? It's simple. By now you know you can't calculate Q1 and Q3 before Q2. So that makes sense. That is just about that for 5-number summary and also the measures of spread. Now the next one will be focused on the box and whisker plots and also the percentiles. So catch you on the next one. Thank you. Keep well.